Hello, friends. This is Coldrun back with Dragon Age Inquisition. We're here in Skyhold. We just finished the Black Emporium last time. By finished, I mean just kind of checked out and bought some stuff. And here, we're going to check out. We got a hit report and a couple of quests that came in from the War Council, and then we're actually going to Audible and go with what Pride had wrought instead of the Hissing Wastes, Hissing Waste will still be there. Oh, just some resources. Oh, bestow Morning Hollow, right. This is the thing that, like, we wanted to force the ceremonial Hala of Unity into the town, even if it meant, like, calling in a bunch of political favors. Inquisitor, thank you for convincing the villagers of Red Crossing to acquiesce. I understand that they were reluctant, but perhaps this sign of shared mourning will lead to new healing and growth. Please accept these gifts. May they aid your Inquisition in its quest. Keep her howling. Yeah, so didn't get much. I mean, just some rash vine, but like, the true joy is the unity we forged, and isn't that better than any treasure? No, it's not. But what Pride had brought. The Inquisition is now a force to be reckoned with. Call its allies to rally their soldiers and march with Inquisitor Llewellyn's army to the Arbor Wilds, where they will face Corypheus' zealots one final time. The Inquisition must stop Corypheus before the Darkspawn Magister finds a long-lost elven artifact in the wilds that allows him to enter the Fade physically and claim its power. Recommend levels 16 to 19. I'm just going to check with my... No, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do this. I assume that this is not the end of the game. I assume it's not the end.
Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh. Indeed, the Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god.
I'm not so sure.
Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
Yeah, that sounds more likely. I was going to say, like, the Fade doesn't seem like it's just grants your heart's desire. It seems more like the monkey's paw version of it. Like, even when the people stepped into, like, even when the old magisters stepped into the golden citadel or city or whatever and turned it into the black city, like, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of strings attached to the different wishes you make there. You won't live to try it. We can't have that. Another reason to stop him.
In Redcliffe, I saw the future Corypheus built. We can't let that happen.
'Twas always so, was it not? The madman would bury us all.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Alluvion before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
I advise you stop panicking. You work as a team. You listen to my plan. Let's go with the goody two-shoes answer.
You overcome it, all three of you, together. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Liliana, your fastest agents, will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus' army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morgan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
She
Any
would be happy
further
about that.
instructions, Inquisitor?
Pride of all you, this is going to hurt. Yeah, this is going to hurt.
We've embarked on a quest that ends in facing the most powerful monster in all Thedas. Do get a good night's sleep.
As you wish.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Alluvion.
Confirm operation. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, look at that! I was just building up just picking my party. Sarah's still no change in her. There's still no change in her portrait art. I was gonna go with my standard comfort zone party of Sarah, Cassandra, and Solus. And then I just noticed that Vivienne has a new portrait. She's got the portrait of her euthanizing the her husband, her lover. Not her. I don't think it's her husband, but her lover at least. Okay, confirm. So everyone's pushing their pieces towards the Arbor Wilds. She's writing furiously. Is that Colin? No, that's an Orlesian. Oh, okay, it's the Raven. I see. So the Orlesians are joining us. New Emperor Gaspard. These are... I don't know who these are. Some humans. I can't remember who they are. But they're on our team too. Redcliffe maybe? No, I don't know who those are. We got the Elves of something or other. Is this like the Emerald Grave Elves? It looks like it. Oh no, maybe these aren't elves, these are just like our scouts who are trying to slow Corypheus' forces down. Burning their tents and all. Cullen leading the troops, doing what he does best. He's a limited piece, but he's very powerful. Like he's been limited in a lot of the story. Oh, that is the Emerald. Is this the Emerald Graves? It looks like the Emerald Graves. Cullen's been limited in a lot of the Exalted Plane somewhere there. Cullen's been limited in his power, in his effectiveness, in a lot of the smaller scale tasks that I have at the War Council table, but, I mean, he is, like, an incredibly powerful piece. Like, on this scale, especially.
Inquisitor,
How goes the battle, Captain?
the Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished.
Oh, holy shit.
Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be like... I don't know. I kind of like it, actually. That this is... I was going to say I thought this was going to be like the big battle, but this is something that I talked with friends about in some of the Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood content, how in that game, in that expansion especially, you get much more of a sense that you're part of this big army that is doing its thing, part of these big battles that are going on without you. And this is sort of the same thing. Like, as the lead Inquisitor, you're like the chief of, you're like the leader of this massive military operation, and you don't need to be there for every step of the way. And I do like that, rather than like a small adventuring party that's doing everything.
Do only what you must. We need enough people for a celebration when we get back to Skyhold.
We will not fail you, my lady, no matter what comes. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
Andraste is not real.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
They show me respect, Morrigan. No one mistakes me for the Maker.
I bet they do. I think
True.
they kind of do.
You are far more likely to come to their aid than a chantry fable, but I digress. If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mythal.
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend. If Corypheus seeks it, then the alluvion he covets lies within. Let us hope we reach this temple before the entire forest is reduced to ash.
Here's a question. Can y'all remind me of what... Because I remember specifically there was... This is... So I played Dragon Age Origins once. And I replayed it like another 2 or 3 times, but only enough to... I kind of quit after like after doing like either the deep roads or the dream place, and I never replayed the elven parts, like the part with the mirror. Can you remind me what happened there? Because I remember there was something with the mirror and the curse and werewolves, but I don't remember any of the details. Or even the broad strokes, really. I don't remember like the summary of that storyline. It feels like it's going to be important here. Pride had wrought. Okay. Let's see what the Codex says about the Arbor Wilds, because it might have details about it. Cruxus, for once, looks to the elves for guidance. The Daelish shun the Arbor Wilds. Even when the people who would start a war over a single crumbling wall ignore a large elven ruin to the south, it bodes disaster. There is beauty and curiosity in the forest, such as trees that rise tall as towers, but those who travel too deep into them never return. You asked if I could identify the elven architecture from the few existing sketches of the outer ruins. They have curious similarities to stonework found in Arlathon, so I would guess it is likely an old elven temple dating 200-300 years before the Imperium. Super old. Anything else is conjecture that I fear will spurn you on in this folly. Letter from a scholar of the Tevinter Imperium to Magister Cruxus, a mage of high standing who led a doomed expedition into the Arbor Wilds a year afterwards. Okay, so a place of mystery and doom, kind of a Bermuda Triangle type effect. Ambassador Briala, it's good to see you.
Put together an impressive army, Inquisitor.
You're dressed for battle.
If the Herald of Andraste dares the fray, I could hardly stay at home.
Oh, I love you. You want to be seen helping? No.
Are you sure? Court life makes one soft, I hear.
Show me a palace where that's true, I beg you. An elf with power still shocks. You know how it feels to hear those whispers constantly. Enough of that. Sound the charge and we'll show Corypheus the displeasure of Orlais.
Oh, you are awesome, Briala. You are fantastic. So I wonder who else is in here. Let's loot our own camp. Royal Sea Silk. That's like a token of this person's affection from his lover. And we're just taking it to maybe use in some crafting later. Look at that beautiful birdo. Oh, look, what a pretty bird. Oh, look at it talking. That's so cute. Okay. Am I dead? Did I get stuck? Is this... Oh my god. So, the Inquisitor is stuck in the ground. The leader of the forces against the doom of Corypheus is stuck in the ground. Oh, thank god. Okay. There we go. There's a road. I found the road. This is a beautiful area. This is like super bright, verdant compared to a lot of...
Listen to how close the fighting's gotten. It will be worse ahead.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
Come on, let's go plug some assholes.
Do you sense the magic crackling? Something more powerful than the Red Templars stirs.
Who said that? Was that Morgan? Morgan?
We can't send people east.
Yeah, I've tried. There's some weird... if you try to send people east, like... The landscape will glitch you through it. Oh, hello.
As the sun renews itself, so must the faithful renew their love of the Maker. Your penance shall be a joy, serving him with a heart of love unbound. Your struggle shall be a gift, for it redeems you in his sight.
Oh gosh, how do we do this? Yeah, I don't want to finish the verse. I think that's... I don't know. I don't feel that religious.
The Inquisition brought you this struggle. Without men like you, it would fall.
The fight is justly entered, your worship. I was a pilgrim at Haven. I saw the wreckage and how you emerged to lead us. If the Maker bids me serve you, it will be done.
Is that a body? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to crap on their religion. Like I don't think it's. I don't know. It seems to be. We're certainly using it, so I don't want to be like. I don't want to shit on it, but I also don't want to pretend like I'm Andraste's BFF. Yeah, this looks like the right way.
Marquis Brianna and her bodyguard are just down the hill, Inquisitor. They wish to join you for the last push.
Marquis Brianna. Brianna. She's the, like, wasn't she just above, though? Maybe she went ahead. I'm worried about this last push stuff, but I suppose even if, let's say even if this is the end of the game, like the end of the main story game, like, oh, you are beautiful. Look at those coloring on that birds. Even if this is the end of the main story part of the game, like, there's plenty of DLC. I'm sure I'll be able to do post-game exploration for zones I missed. Red Templar horror. Ah, full boopage. I heard a French accent. Was that, or I'm sorry, a Norwegian accent? Does that mean that Brianna's around here, or that, like, rather that she and her troops are here? I'm not sure.
Good luck, my friend. May you truly be the Maker's chosen.
Oh, thank you. You got this. Hold the line. And I really like what Brianna said about, like, yeah, especially in Dragon Age, like, palace life does not make you soft. Like, if you're surviving and thriving in palace, you've got to have the sharpest knives around. Sharp wits, at least. The whole great game thing. Ooh, who's that? Grey Waterfall. Reach the second blockade. Again, I really like how this is, how they've... Oh, Red Templar marked me. Ooh.
The warrior!
Jump down to get you. I'm still wearing the cat collar. I really do like it, so thank you for the suggestion on that. So where are we heading? We're heading that way. Okay. A warden? What does a warden mean? I don't know if warden has some special meaning in Dragon Age or if it's just like a general troop in Corypheus' armory, but it's a strange name for an evil troop.
Those were Grey Wardens. They must be the last of those enslaved at Adamant.
Oh my god.
If they are forced to obey him, death will be a blessing.
How could I forget, like, Warden in the Dragon Age versus Grey Ward? Anyway. Yeah, so these were, that's why they were called, that's why Wardens were attacking us. Going the right way? I think so. It seems like this is a more linear zone than... Oh, birds, I love you. It seems like this is a more linear zone than a lot of the ones beforehand. Like, this is just designed for this rather than for side questing. Which is, makes a lot of sense. Boop.
They fall! The Red Templars fall!
Yeah, we're kind of coming into this, like, from a real point of strength right now. And it wasn't necessarily going to be that way, but, like, we're kind of cleaning up the mess here. Cleaning up the leftovers of the fight.
For Haven and the Divine!
For Haven and the Divine. There you go. Alright, so we're kind of wending our way over here. Is this...
There, ahead. An entire camp of Red Templars.
Watch out. They've posted archers on the wall.
Okay, that's actually a good tip. We can take them out first. Red Templar marksman. And I think those are the only 2 archers they got. It's gotta be weird to just have these... No, I was gonna say it's gotta be weird to have like the Red Templar, like abominations and horrors, like all stalking around. Maybe not. Elves. Sentinel Shadow. Is this like a third faction? Like something that...
Who were those elves? They didn't look Dalish.
It seems this temple of Mythal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
Supplies replenished. Yeah, this is like almost like a dungeon rather than the zone. Bianca Arms 6. Sorry, Varric. I haven't used you much. Take all of that. Captain Lowen, I don't want grumbling in the lower ranks that our Lord Corypheus handpicked Grey Wardens to be part of his honor guard over his Templars. Our charge is not to understand his will, it is only to obey it. Besides, our master's still sore he lost all but a few dozen enslaved Grey Wardens to the Inquisitor at Adamant. If your soldiers are smart, they'll keep quiet about it, Lieutenant Keldon. Yeah, that... I don't know, if Corypheus is your boss, it doesn't seem like you'd want to be complaining to him about literally anything. Like, you would just keep your head down and kind of do your thing as best you can and try to survive. He doesn't seem like he'd be that receptive to the concerns of his subordinates. Alright, so we're watching out for these elven shadows, these... who I'm assuming are like ancient... not ancient, but like who are some kind of sworn guardians to the Temple of Mythal, to the Alluvian. Who are not on his side, but not on Corypheus' side, but just kind of guarding it against all comers. Yeah, this is very linear, and I kind of like it. It's a kind of a nice change of pace. It gives that sense of like just charging towards the final thing. I don't know why I'm picking up all this crafting material, but again, there's DLC, so maybe I'll use it then. The ruined archways. Reach the final blockade. Oop. Ah, I love that sound. Red Templar Behemoths are level 19. This is definitely kind of the level we're meant to be at. I mean, I know I'm level 23, but still. Scouts say more Red Templars are on the way. We'll guard against them. Thank you. Yeah, we're like helping out. We're chipping in during this fight, and the soldiers that are the Inquisition soldiers are kind of doing the lion's share of it. Totally fine with that. More than that, again, as I've said before, I really like the way that feels here, given the context of this game. Alright, so we strayed away from the river path, and it wasn't super helpful, so we're just going to keep going. Is this the way? Maybe not. So what's the... Ooh! It's a nice little blending in with the forest architecture here. Discovered the temple. Yeah, like I tried exploring this whole area, but there was just troops and not much else. So some fighting, but nothing super interesting. Senior Warden. Yeah, everyone's encouraging me to press on. Everyone's like, stop exploring. Time to press on. And they're right. Of course they're right. So again, I don't know how much damage I'm doing relative to how much someone who's using like a net decked build almost, or whatever the term for it is, would be doing, but I feel like I'm doing okay. Usually when I play games like this, like Dragon Age games, I've played as a tank, or something like that. I've played as something more defensive rather than like just a straight up aggressive.
There, that must be the Temple of Mythal.
Two-hand warrior.
Corypheus will be there.
I hear fighting ahead.
And so this has been a real pleasant change of pace. Like I really enjoyed playing as a two-hand warrior here. Those are all Red Templar troops, right? Oh yeah, the Sentinels are...
They still think to fight us, Master.
Corypheus is right there.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
You gotta whisper. It's weird, we see him so seldom in this game.
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
Holy shit. Those are some powerful defenses, at least. And it seems like those were more powerful than Corypheus was expecting. Like, I'm sure he's just going to re-piece himself together, but still, those are some powerful wards. So they see us, or that guy sees us at least. That's disgusting.
It cannot be.
Is he becoming a Darkspawn?
Across the bridge, now!
Oh no, that's Corypheus. That's right. We still haven't dealt with his archdemon, with his artificial demon, artificial archdemon. Holy shit. Okay. Skeletons. Oh my god. Okay, so that was intense. That was really intense. I had assumed that Corypheus had gotten up like when we weren't watching and like kept moving with the I can't remember what the name of that pasty looking dude is. But kept moving with him. But no, that guy just kept walking. I guess he knew that Corypheus would reform, so he wasn't super worried.
At last, Mythal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an Eluvian, but he mentioned a Well of Sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
I was going to say, are they the same thing? But, I mean, I don't think so.
You're not certain? You said you knew what
No, I didn't mean to be
for.
accusatory.
Confidence can carry one only so far, it seems.
I suspected. I did not know. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you?
No, it
Whatever
doesn't.
the Well of Sorrows
A little
might
bit.
be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
That Alana looked so pouty there,
Find
like,
this
oh,
well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, Darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So, how many times do we need to kill him? It's a small number, right?
Strike Corypheus down, and he will rise anew.
We'll find a way to stop him once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how.
Yeah, so that makes sense. I think we might have to treat him like an Ascian almost then. Like either find a way to trap and destroy his essence or just kind of put him away somewhere. Okay, before we wrap up this session, let me take a look at what the codex is for this place. Codex Entry is for this place. Temple of Mythal. Once again, Genitivi is completely at odds with reality. Ancient elven temples were no simple shrines. Extensive digging shows that... Oh, and I guess before I forget, so part of my confusion was, I think that I saw... That makes sense, because I saw, like, it looked like someone who was in Inquisition garb rise up, like, and become Corypheus, and that's why I was confused. And so, yeah, Corypheus didn't just reform, like, from his old self, like, he passed on to this other person and took over him. Okay. Extensive digging shows that buildings radiated out of the main edifice, much like a city wrapped around a palace. Indeed, these temple complexes must have been cities once, with a veritable army of functionaries running them. Each cult had different rituals, ablutions, and prayers to their chosen patron that ran all hours of the day. The time and effort devoted to them must have been staggering. Perhaps it's best we have lost knowledge of these pagan rites. The deities that the old elves worshipped, if they existed at all, were clearly demons masquerading as higher powers. One shudders to think what went on before their thrones, from an essay on the Atronus of Antiva, scholar and naturalist, to the Antivan royal court. So they think that, at least those people think that this temple to Mythal was some temple to, I don't know, like fake gods, but I'm not so sure. I mean, Mythal, I'm assuming, is just like one of the Elven Pantheon. I can't remember. I don't know the Elven Pantheon itself beyond the ones we've seen, like Dirthaman and the like. But I assume that Mythal is was worshipping a real elven god. But again, we know because of the stuff with the dread, and the dread. Like, this is kind of a meta thing that's in my mind. Like, I know that the next expansion is the Dread Wolf or Attack of the Dread Wolf or something like that. And so, like, I'm keeping an eye out on stuff that might indicate Dread Wolfiness. But that might come from a later DLC or something. But we know that... Oh, wait, here's the thing. So they've talked about how they locked Corypheus away. And we know that, like, to contain him, and we know that the Dread Wolf locked away a bunch of the elven gods to contain them. So maybe Corypheus was an old elven god or something. No, that doesn't seem right. He's a magister. I don't know. I'm just talking about my butt now. I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.